folks, I'm Tom Vessel. Welcome to the Dice Tower. This is Week in Review, where we talk about all the stuff we did over the past week. Look at all this stuff. And we tell you what we think of it. Kind of short summaries. Links in the description if you want to see the full videos. Let's get going.
Hey everybody, I'm Garcia. Here's what I reviewed last week. So I did 10 days in the national parks. I gave it a 7 out of 10. This is a reworking of the 10 days in the USA line of games. And it takes a little bit from a few different ones while giving you a new theme that's really neat. Traveling not just the US states or places in Africa or places in Europe, but instead the US national parks, which is lovely. And there's some nice artwork to represent that. It's a little less user-friendly because unless you know exactly where all those national parks are, it's a little harder to find where things are and what's adjacent to what. But as a family game that is very accessible, it's going to be mostly very lucky, and everybody can play, therefore, a very even playing field. This is a winner. I reviewed Papiria, or Papiria, I think Papiria. I give this one a 7 out of 10. It's a heavy Euro game with plenty going on, some nice gears within gears, and a lot of player-driven scoring, all of which I enjoy, but the game's look is not the best. It is a game that plays better with more players than with fewer, in my opinion, and it has this ramping up effect where at the beginning of the game you're making very few points, and at the end you're making large swaths of points, which means the beginning of the game then feels a little bit of a letdown in retrospect. And, you know, for your next game, you know at the beginning it's sort of like, well, I'm making 4 points here. It doesn't feel like a particularly strong showing, and it's going to be sort of moot when I later make a move and score 48 points. And then lastly, I reviewed a couple of the characters from Marvel Champions. This is a hero deck for Falcon and Winter Soldier, and I rated them a 9 and a 9.5 respectively. They're fantastic new characters. Falcon's really good if you want a new aerial flyer with some nice looking ahead and some nice manipulation. And then Winter Soldier, really good solo character, some nice control of the minions, and managing to do a little bit of everything. You want somebody who can take out the minions while getting a little bonus to keeping the schemes under control, then Winter Soldier is going to give you some of that. They're really great, very fun, and of course, being well-known characters adds to the fun of that as well. And that's it for me. I'll see you on the next one.
Hey, it's everyone's favorite host of Chris time. Chris. That'd be weird if it was anyone else. Anyway, this week I took a look at a few games, the first of which was Big Sur. A 6.5 on this one. I enjoy it. You are playing cards out and to create the Pacific Coast Highway #1, a particular bend of it, and you pay cards to play other ones. I like that feel to it. I wish that they was just a little bit more dynamic of a game. It's pretty steady, and I think a little overextended time-wise, at especially 3 and 4 players. But 2, I could see this one being very fun, just kind of going back and forth. So 6.5, enjoyed it. Next up, Line of Fire Burnt Moon, a 7.5, recommending this interesting lane battler. It feels like from what everyone tells me, it has a lot of those elements of the Undaunted series, but focused in this lane battler. It's a very strange game in a lot of ways, to its strength, where it feels like no other lane battler, but to its detriment, where it feels odd as you're learning it. But I enjoy what's going on. It feels very fresh and different and enjoyable, so it's a 7.5 for me. Next up, Up or Down, a cool... I gave this one a 7.5. It's a cool game where you're trying to build 3 stacks of cards that go either up or they go down. About elevators, good theme that fits this very well. And I like these type of games where you're drafting cards from the center of the table to kind of follow these paths. So neat, fun, and it moves at a good pace as long as everyone understands it. It can drag a little bit otherwise, but I've always had good success, even up to 6 players. So Up or Down, a 7.5. Lastly, we did a first impressions on Blood on the Clock Tower. This is a social deduction game that we didn't rate because we really didn't dig deep enough into it, but I did play it enough to know this is not something I personally want to explore further. I like when social deduction kind of branches into different paths, and I was hoping maybe this would give me that same feel like the first time I played The Resistance, or like when I first played Secret Hitler even, or or Feed the Kraken. And this one felt more like Werewolf, but still done with very interesting and cool roles, and a nice role for that person who's leading the game, but just not enough for, just not enough different that makes me want to dive into it further, but I see why it's very well made and why people jump full bore into this and make this their lifestyle game. So, that's a summary of the stuff that I was in this week.
Hey everybody, I'm Joy Evans, and here's what I reviewed this week. First off was Up or Down. It's a Kramer and Kiesling game, and it's just pretty much about an elevator going up and down. You're trying to make rows of cards, stuff. I thought it was fine. Ended up giving it a 6. I think the artwork is really nice on it. Anyway, it's a very simple game. King and Peasant, speaking of simple, this is an 18-card game where I thought it'd be like Love Letter, but it's a bit more involved. Very asymmetric on the two people, the battling back and forth. It's very quick, really what you want out of a pocket game. Ended up giving this an 8. Then Lightspeed, I think it's Lightspeed Arena. This is really fun. This is where you just drop these ships down, you take a picture of it with this app, and then it shows you where the ships are shooting, what blows up, who survives, it does all the points, the tally, and all that stuff. This is incredible. This is what I've been waiting for this game. I played other iterations, but this one is the best by far. This, I came in at a 9. We also reviewed Blood in the Clock Tower. This was some people's first time. I had played it before. This is our first review of it. We didn't give it a numerical value, but I did enjoy the experience of it. I'll give my thoughts in the video. It's one of those things that I may end up playing again, but honestly, I ticked that box. I'm good for a while, Blood on the Clock Tower. I thought it was fine. I did it. Moving on. So anyway, I'm Joy Evans, and that's what I reviewed this week.
Hey there everybody, it's Mike Delisio. This week I reviewed 2 games. First up is Money, which I rated a 7 out of 10. This is a re-release of an older game by Reiner Knizia from All Play Games, where you are exchanging sets of currencies for other sets of currencies with an open market or with other players, and it has a scoring hook that's going to determine kind of how much money you get for those sets. A clever game, but one that I don't go much higher than a 7 because there's so many other games that kind of do similar things, even by the same designer, but still a good game. And then I also reviewed Tornado Splash, which I gave an 8.5 out of 10 to, Seal of Excellence. This is from Arclight Games, and it is a racing game where you are playing as racers on these different jet skis that have different kind of abilities. Some are faster than others, some turn better than others, and you're racing by laying out these thin little cards that kind of show the path you've taken. It looks really, really cool on the table. It has some exciting moments of play throughout, but you do have to be okay with some kind of messiness. The cards will kind of go over each other, and it's not always the most exacting game. And so if you don't like a little bit of kind of messiness on the table, it might not be for you. But man, if you're all right with that and just want to have a wild, wacky race, Tornado Splash is really, really solid. All right, well, that's going to do it for me this week. Let's keep it moving.
I reviewed 10 Days in National Parks. This is a remake of the 10 Days in the U.S. series from Alan Moon and Aaron Weisboom. Still good. They keep refining the system. It is a very solid run across America type game. I enjoy it. 8 out of 10. King and Peasant, a 2-player kind of rock, paper, scissors with 18 cards. So much game in there. Really enjoyed this one also. 8 out of 10. Then Lightspeed Arena. Lightspeed Arena is the ultimate version of Lightspeed, which came out in 2003. But with the app, and I know people hate apps, but with this one, with the app is so good. 9 out of 10. Really like this one. Big Sur, I liked a lot less, unfortunately. There's a lot of cool ideas in it, but it's a little more fiddly than I prefer. It's fine. I just wish there was it's either too long or too short, depending on which way you look at it. 6 out of 10. Tornado Splash, kind of watching your wave runners go around the board with the little cards. It's like X-Wing, the racing game. Enjoyed this one. 7 out of 10. Money, this is a remake of Reiner Knizia. It's fun. It's a single mechanism where you're bidding on money cards with money cards, and you can even take money cards that other people bid. It's fine. A 6 out of 10. Blood on the Clock Tower. We didn't give this one a numerical rating. My experience was like a 9 out of 10. I really enjoyed it. But I don't know that I would give the game that, because I felt like we had a perfect group of people. More details in our Blood on the Clock Tower review. And then just lots of other little things that we did over the course of the week. We played Women of Wrestling. We did our crowd surfing. Lots of different videos, and of course the Top 100 continues to march on. Thanks so much for watching. I'm Tom Vassell. We'll see you next time on Week in Review.
Hey folks, thanks for watching another one of our videos. If you like our videos, if you like our channel, if you would love to game with us at one of our conventions, check out Dice Tower Cruise, Dice Tower East, and Dice Tower West. Fantastic conventions where we play games with wonderful people, a humongous library, and lots of other events and stuff. Also, don't forget to check out our channel, like and subscribe. I'm Tom Bassel.